Hello good people, this is Hits the Streets on Memories TV. Back in the days, our parents used to say that they had performed well, that is, in their primary to secondary level. How about you? We are here to gather responses on this. Let's hit the streets together. My name is Enomfon Stephen.
My name is Emmanuel Imeokpong. So talking about taking first, second and third position, it varies in the citadels, in the primary citadel and in the secondary. When it comes to tertiary citadel like in Uniolea, we really need to, tie our seat belt, In the primary it was quite simple, you just take the first position, like for me. Then in secondary, I was also in the first, second, and third position. But when I got to the university now, I realized that I really need to read, I really need to burn the candles, to get my CGPA rising. Thank you.
My name is Abasien Osambo. Back in my primary school days, I was 2009, 2007, about ago. I wouldn't say I was among the top 5 people, but I was among the best people in class. So my dad is someone that he hardly stays at home, so he does not really have time to go through here. So, but I don't have any difficulties. I'm just okay.
My very idea, I've learned that some of our parents, almost all of our parents, they would like to encourage us by telling us that during their primary school days, their secondary school days, not even their primary and secondary school days, those of our parents that attended universities, they will tell you how they were very good in their performances. But that notwithstanding, I still have to tell you that in your children or any of your children or your child who is not to perform well in school, in spite of all the things, all your memories that you download to them, they will still perform according to their level of performances. So all these things they are doing is just to ginger the children. It does not mean that it will change the children, but it is good that we as the children, we will try to advance more than our parents. And if not, we will still have to tell our children that this is how we did, even when we did not perform well.
My name is Jacques Domingo. If I heard you well, you said our parents used to say they perform well while they were back in school. Yeah. And you're asking if I perform well. Yes, of course, I perform well. I'm very serious with my studies, passing my exams with good grades. And
were you able to be among the first 3?
in the department?
In your primary school days or second?
Yes. I can recall when I was in primary 3, I took first in primary 3 for the first team. Second team I took fourth, and third team I took first. Second thing happened in primary 5, but during the third team I took fourth instead of first, second, and so it was like first, second, and fourth in primary 5. Then in primary 6 I can recall during the mock exams I took the overall first in my school. The Mary's, what do you call that school? St. Gabriel Senior School, no cool one. Then I proceeded to secondary school. There I didn't really perform well in JS1. I remember I took fourth in JS1, fifth, and the rest. But in my JS3, I think I was back. So I took first time JS3, second time I took fourth, then third time, it's always junior.
I'm Rejoice Okwan. It's true that parents will say that they did very well during their time, that we are not reading our books, but I don't think it's right, because I did very well also in my primary school and secondary school, even here in university, and I make them proud as well. Even if they did very well, I'm pushing hard to do better than them.
So you are telling me that you were among the first 3 in your primary school?
Yes, especially my nursery school. I was among the first 3.
How was that possible?
It was possible because I made up my mind. I said that I won't go back, as in I don't want to be a failure, because my dad, every time you come back from school, he'll be asking you, let me see your notes, what did you learn, this and that. So when you go to school, you make sure that you come back with something. So if they ask you at home, you can say something. So I was determined to be among the first 3.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, my answer. At start, it was terrible, but later on, it was impressive.
Why was it terrible?
Maybe from the background, how I started, but later on, the mistake was corrected.
So what will you be telling your children?
This is not about telling. I am going to make sure that that lapses, where I had those lapses, my parent had the lapses, I'm going to make sure I fill it up. Patience, edit. Concerning what you asked, in my primary school I actually did well by God's grace. Yes, you say how did I perform well? My mom is a teacher, so she actually drilled us, most especially at home. You can't come home with a bad result. But I can tell you in my secondary school, honestly, I didn't get to the 3rd position. But at least I was amongst the 4th, 5th, 6th position.
Okay, you're telling me now that you were able to meet up like among the first 3 in your primary school. How was that possible?
Because of my mom's encouragement. She was always there. In fact, she can lock you up in a room for you to study until you get that, especially maths. Until you get that, you can't eat or you can't do anything. You can't play. So that was just it. Plus, my dad's advice. My dad was actually on English. You can write a letter while at home. If you need anything, write a letter to him. He will just go through the letter, make some corrections, correct your spellings, your mistakes, your grammar, and at the end of the day, present to you. Continuously, you get used to it, and that's the best part. In fact, I'm English education. I studied English education here in UNU.
Very awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Ann Niborete. I wasn't among the first 3 like my dad, but at least I was intelligent and I was also among the first 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Why was it hard to be among the first 3?
No, it wasn't hard for me. Like, for me, it's luck. How you study is what you get, yes.
So you are trying to tell me you did not study well?
I did, of course I studied well. That's my capability.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so what are you going to like telling your children when you finally have them?
They'll be successful, of course, they'll be intelligent, and I won't force them, I won't make them to be like me. Yes, that is it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Miracle Jenna.
Okay.
By God's grace, I was able to be among the first 3rd in my secondary school.
How was that possible?
More of reading and listening to teachers. And it was more of a competition shop. So it motivated me like...
Okay.
Yeah.
So what will you be telling your children finally when you get them?
I have lots of my results at home. So I think that should be one of the evidence to tell them I was among the first 3rd, and also to encourage them to do more better than I did. You're welcome.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Luponi Daniel. Actually, I was able to be among the first 3rd when I was in primary school and secondary school.
How was that possible?
Because I studied hard.
Okay, so now you'll be telling your children that you had been taken first.
At least I will be telling them they should work hard, read their books, and also listen to their teachers whenever the teacher comes in.
My name is Joseph Ante, and
when a parent talk to us, they have to also understand that they are supposed to filter their words to encourage us. So as to, I studied here in Nigeria before I traveled to the United States, where I'm currently studying at. And there's a cultural difference as to how kids are being handled when they are not performing well. One of those reasons are you could talk to those kids, let them see what subject they are feeling and how they can perform in it instead of condemning them. And in the African structure, every parent was once a bright student. There's no dull parent in Africa. They've all were in the first 10 positions in their class. But then in reality, it discourages the kid, because you ask yourself, if my mom was on the top of the class, why is she where she is today? Why is my dad where he is today? Why is he not the president? Why is he not the richest man on earth? So sometimes we have to understand that instead of boasting or bragging about who we were, we should let those kids know that our desire is for them to be better than we are.
Thank you. Now, personally, were you able to make it, or were you able to be among the first few?
Yes, I was the smartest when it comes to certain subjects when I was growing up, but until I got to high school or secondary school here, and I realized that there are a lot of kids from different schools or different nursery school who came to meet together, and the challenge became even bigger. So I moved from being the first in the class to being the first 10, and then it didn't just wake up. I didn't wake up overnight and I then regained my consciousness of the fact that I want to be in the top 10. It took me time, and then when I went to the US, I found out that I was in the top 5% of the class. In all of my studies, all to my grad years, I was in the top 5, but that's the same me again who was just in the top 10 in high school. So you see the bracket changes as you move, because now people from different backgrounds are coming together, people from different schools or calibers of schools are coming together, so the challenge is even bigger. And when a parent talks to us like, oh, I was the first in my class, they also have to understand we are living in a computerized generation. They didn't have to use computer to go to school, but nowadays we have online classes. So that is the most challenging for kids who just live, let's say, the village or the rural part of the country, who has never actually experienced computers. So everything is now digitalized, and they have to also understand that.
Thank you so much. Awesome.
My pleasure.
Seriously, I really enjoyed myself, and I hope you did too. That's all we have on today's Hit the Streets on Memories TV. My name is Enomfon Steve. Thank you.